We're cool peoples. Mic check, mic check. What's going on? Welcome into another episode of the KZ Community Beat. I'm your host, Ross Martinez. Episode 55, and we got to do it big. It's Peoria Fashion Week in the house. We still don't have funding for noises and sounds and bells and whistles.
We'll do it.
Anyways, hopefully with this new business connect. So we got Ezra, we got Chanel Murray, and plus two more. You brought your kids this time.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Jamarian and Leilani.
Hi.
Hey there.
Immediately the nerves and the personality come out equally. So, how do you pronounce your name again? I'm sorry.
Leilani.
Leilani. You are one of the models in Fashion Week.
Yep.
How long you been doing it now?
For 3 or 4 years now.
3 or 4 years. And what's your role, bro?
I do pretty much everything else. You know, I take pictures, interviews, set up, breakdown, all that type of stuff.
The wild card of the group. Fair to say? So, as Chanel, how long have you been doing Peoria Fashion Week now?
This will be the second year. Peoria Fashion Week in its entirety. This is the second year, and it has grown exponentially already.
Isn't it crazy? Has it been 2 years? Because my 2 years here in Peoria coming up April 8th.
Yeah, we met you when you first moved here. Yeah.
I think you're like one of my first 5 interviews or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now we're on 55 double nickel.
So before we talk about you guys becoming all Hollywood and things, how much have you guys grown from last year when we first talked till now? It feels like you guys are doing a lot more. You're inviting bigger names out. You're now having like a bigger sense of what you're doing when it comes to each day. Sounds like it's all kind of coming together.
Yeah. And I'll definitely let my wife elaborate a little bit more on that.
Thank you, Ezra.
You guys are so adorable.
So we've definitely grown a lot. So last year was definitely trial and error with a lot of things. And we learned a lot of things about production. We learned a lot of things about teamwork. We learned a lot of things about ourselves. And actually, I feel like it made us grow a lot stronger as a team, going through the trials and tribulations that came with last year's show. This year, we have a bigger team, and they're like bulldogs like Ezra and I. So they're on it just as much as we are. And it's really great having a team that sees the bigger picture, so they see where this can potentially grow into. So they're working just as hard as Ezra and I, and we love it.
I mean, speaking of growing into things, you got both your kids now, like, full force involved in it. How much does it feel to see your parents actually getting all this done, incorporating more of the city involved, bringing outside help in, actually putting the town that you're raised in on the map?
It feels great. Yeah, it feels great. It feels very inspiring to see that the people I grew up with, or that's raised me, they're able to do all this stuff and give back to the community. So, yeah.
Yeah. What about you, man? How's it feel?
Essentially the same thing. You know, I always knew they could do it. You know, if they put their mind to it, they can do it. You know what I mean?
Look at that. Mind to it. Speaking of, you guys just got back from a nice trip on the West Coast.
Yes.
How was that, seeing everything? I saw a couple Facebook posts you guys talking about you put Peoria on the map out of nowhere. I'm like, ooh. So the West Coast knows about P-Town? River City?
Yeah, actually, you know what? The funny thing about that is so the first day that I got, actually, before even going out there, I told my wife and I told my daughter, I said, hey, look, when we go out here, my mindset is just straight work. Like, I'm not thinking of restaurants. I'm not thinking of food. I'm not thinking of nothing. Like,
you're not there for pleasure. You're there for business.
Straight work.
Yeah.
He was not trying to eat.
Yeah.
The entire time we were there. That's how much he was trying to work.
We just had energy drinks all day?
Water.
Oh, wow. He is bulked up. You see? My man got the gains right now.
I think that's what happened, I guess.
Go to Peoria Fashion Week next week and you'll see this man's gains.
So, yeah, when we first got out there, now, of course, California, where we were, Hollywood or Beverly Hills, it's 2 hours behind Central Time, where we currently are. So the first day when we got there, we landed at night, and I was up within a couple hours. And, I mean, they can attest to it. I got up, it was like 7 a.m. in the morning, and I said, you know what? I took my camera out. I said, I need to see everything. I went walking. So I went walking in the neighborhoods of like Beverly Hills and everything. And
Just like trying to train your eye for the new scenes and stuff? Or?
Yes. I wanted to get a feel for, what the culture was like. And a lot of time, in situations like that, you want to walk and see people in real time. Not like at events. You want to see how people are just in general. So as I was walking, I noticed everyone had a smile on their face. They're all walking their small dogs, big dogs, etc. It just seemed very homey, right? So so I met someone. She is a screenwriter and does a plethora of other things. And I believe her name was Jody. Her name was Jody. Great woman. So she saw me, and she thought I was lost. So so she's like, hey, do you need help, finding anything? And I was like, well, I'm a photographer in the area, just got here, just scoping the scenery out. And so she saw my camera, and she's like, oh my God, I didn't even see the camera at first. So then she just ends up just spilling just a tangent of info, this and that about California. And then she asked me where I was from, and I said, well, I'm from Peoria, Illinois. And her eyes got huge. She's like, Peoria? She was like,
she knew about Peoria?
Yes, she knew about Peoria. I mean, I'm talking about the conversation went to new heights. She was like, her eyes got big, and she said, Peoria, Illinois. She's like, do you know the theatrical history of Peoria, Illinois?
I don't.
And I was like, no, I don't. And she, she just got to talking about, I believe it's on Madison, the Madison Street Theater. Mm-hmm. She got to talking about basically like all the plays and stuff that used to go on here. And then she said there was a saying that said if it plays in Peoria, it plays anywhere. She said, do you guys still say that?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that's still a thing to this day, and
I feel like y'all told me that saying.
Yeah, we probably did.
Huh.
We probably did.
I think we did mention that on the first.
Yeah, on the first episode we talked about this is a trial market for a lot of people. That if it's able to have some success and growth, that Peoria is known to kind of launch celebrities, acts, music, and XYZ and so much other things. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Oh, it was insane. Huh. Insane. I couldn't wait to once I was walking on the way back to the hotel. I seen them and I told them about it, and they were just like, nah.
Yeah, you didn't believe it? You're like,
I believed it because I grew up in California, so Oceanside, California to be exact. So like Katy Perry's dad used to ride his, what is it called?
Moped.
No, not the moped. It's the one like the security guards in the mall.
Somebody said it and they're annoyed that we don't know it.
I can't remember what it's called, but that
from Mall Cop.
From the Mall Cop, yes. He used to ride that up and down the strip, and he literally would talk to anybody. So I was kind of used to seeing a lot of maybe B or C list celebrities running around Oceanside, because Oceanside is a really big tourist place. So when Ezra was telling me about all these people he was meeting, especially in Hollywood, I knew he was true. It was true because that's where everyone comes, especially during the time it was the Oscar season. Mm-hmm. So leading up to that, it was the entire week of just events. So there was a lot of people, coming to Hollywood in that area, because we literally stayed on the strip where the Oscar Academy was. So we were right there on that strip. So, of course, he was going to run into all these people. But my thing is, I always tell Ezra, you can't walk around looking like a tourist. Somebody's going to try to get you. And especially with his camera. Especially with a camera, you look like a tourist. But, Ezra's a big guy. I'm not worried about him. But it's still when you have that target on you, I look like a tourist, people definitely will try to scam you or get you in any type of way.
But it was different. It was more like, oh, you know my people. I know your people. You know Peoria. So now you're there for what? The Oscars, was it? Or
yes,
the Oscars. Yeah.
So how did you get involved with that? Was that more like you applied, or you just went out there, or somebody sought you out?
Yeah. So ironically enough, all of that came from the connections that we garnered through Peoria Fashion Week. Actually, so
are you serious?
Peoria Fashion Week is what opened the doors for that opportunity for us to go to Hollywood. That was our headliner designer last year, Nyla Couture. Shout out to you. She basically, said, hey, I'm going on this tour. Would really love to have Leilani, which is our daughter.
Hi.
Come
right here.
Come model. And so we're like, all right, cool. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's do what we need to do to, make this all happen. And then of course I was brought in as media. So it was just an entire, just experience, honestly. And Nell, she came in, helping out with production and organization. And she made connections as well, outside of the ones that even I made, So, again, it was just a beautiful experience. And yeah.
It's just kind of hard being an organizer and going somewhere else and seeing that there needs to be some type of assistance in some way. So that's more so why I jumped in. And plus, on top of that, I don't really like my child being a part of anything that,
shaky ground at best.
They had it organized well. It was just some areas that we saw, little gaps in, and that's kind of where I jumped in to assist with.
Well, Mama Bear.
Mama Bear, definitely all day, every day.
How'd that feel having Mama Bear around, just making sure people weren't taking advantage of you?
It felt good. I felt very safe and secure.
Was it like a different scene for you, like to go from Peoria Fashion Week out towards the Oscars? Like, what, being your age and how young you are, what did that feel like for you to go from Peoria to out there in Oscars week?
Well, since I've done a lot of shows locally, I've kind of already know what's going on in the fashion realm, but it was different, especially with the models. It was definitely different personalities there, that I can say. But since I was the youngest, I did feel kind of outcasted, since everybody was like old enough to do certain things.
To go out and have a good time.
Yeah.
Libations, as we like to call them.
Party.
Yeah, but it was a fun
Gotta be careful with Hollywood parties nowadays.
It was a fun experience.
But that's cool, yo. Like, to have that experience in life. And it started from the brainchild of, hey, let's do some Peoria Fashion Week stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So 2 years down, you're now in Oscars week. You're meeting somebody that knows Peoria, that knows the term if it plays in Peoria. Like, that's gotta, when you're coming back, how do you feeling from that entire trip?
So it wasn't even just Miss Jody that we met. We actually met the producer of CBS, and she's like huge, and she she was actually over the actual pre-show, and and so she's actually a Bradley alumni.
Oh,
and that's
wow.
where we made that connection, because when she found out we were from Peoria, and honestly, to be honest, we didn't even tell her we were from Peoria. When she saw us doing what we were doing, she was asking people like, hey, look them up. Who are they? And then at the end of the show, she was like, hey, Chanel, come here. And I'm like, did I tell her my name?
So you guys were just carrying yourself a certain way, and they're like, all right, they look like they belong. They don't stick out, but they kind of have a little different vibe to them. Mm-hmm. A little Peorian vibe.
Yeah. And so, she's actually from Chicago, and she's a Bradley alumni. So that's really where that connection came, because she knows Peoria. She's a lot older, so it was a different time when she was out here.
Different era?
Yeah, it was a different era. But she definitely connected with us, and it's been vibes ever since.
So as you're flying back to Peoria, you got to have all these ideas of things you want to implement. What are some new things that you learned that you're like, okay, I want to make sure I have this a part of my fashion week and all my creative things kind of moving forward?
It's funny, honestly. When I landed back in Illinois, I can only speak for myself when it comes to that feeling. It didn't dawn on me what all we did and accomplished until I landed. When we landed and I looked around, that's when everything just kind of hit me all at once, right? The only thing that I would honestly say that I would take from that experience to try to implement here is that even with what I said earlier, walking around Beverly Hills, everyone had a smile on their face. It was just, it felt like good quality of life.
What do you mean by that?
And by that, I mean, the smiles on their faces, it didn't feel like there was something behind it. It didn't feel like there was an ulterior motive behind it. It didn't feel like, it just didn't feel like it came with a catch, right?
Is Midwest nice? Just like we kind of have it?
Nah, like we just don't have that here. And don't get me wrong, right? So there are a handful of us here that just, you included, that when we see each other, it's genuine. Just,
like, what up?
Yo, hey, what's up? Like, and we work together, we make things happen within the community, etc. And there's not really like a catch to it. There's not something where, you call me 3 months later and you're like, oh, hey man, remember that time we all helped out at the, hey man.
Oh, yeah. So it's not like that where like, you rubbing toes, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So
it's more like, hey yo, I got something. You interested?
Right. So it's like if anything that I could take away from being out there to implement here would just be to to just want to be someone that if someone meets me for the first time, they're like, oh man, that dude Ezra, man, he's cool, man. He's a good dude. That would be the only thing that I would take from that to really to try to implement here, honestly. But to speak on the event was amazing. That's not to say that there weren't good things from it that I would that I wouldn't implement here. It's just the biggest thing that stuck out to me was just how everyone treated each other. Everyone was just, like I said, it just seemed like good quality of life in a sense of just people were just seemed genuine. They just seemed cool, so.
That's cool, yo, to actually have that experience. Now that we're coming into Peoria Fashion Week starting Monday, April 1st, what type of things do we have lined up per day? We have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. But you have some people coming in. Tuesday is the VIP event?
Correct.
So let's talk about some events that we got coming up this next week.
So April 2nd is our designer collections reveal. It's like a meet and greet with designers, models, sponsors, VIP, ticket holders. It will be catered by Highly Flavored. The infamous music box will be playing. And then we actually have a guest speaker, Mr. James Akbar Bryson.
Oh, yeah.
And so what I think our generation does not know about him is when he was our age, he was throwing fashion shows here in Peoria.
He was? I didn't know this.
I didn't know either.
Interviewed him. I interviewed him. He didn't even bring that up.
I didn't know either. So it's something that you have to be like, hey, I heard you used to do fashion shows. He'll be like, yeah, And so he's going to kind of touch bases on what he used to do a long time ago when he was our age. And he's done so much since then. I can see how everything he's accomplished since then has overshadowed that part of his life. And so I like to always tell people I've lived 1,000 lives before, because when I was in California, it was a different lifestyle. When I was in St. Louis, it was a different lifestyle. When I'm here, it's a different lifestyle. Before kids, after kids, it's just completely different lifestyles. So, and I think it's the same thing with Mr. Akbar, is that we all have lived 1,000 lives if you think about how long we all live. And so he's actually going to be our guest speaker, and he's going to kind of touch base about, about that. It's just going to be a really, really good time. And then, of course, you will be there.
Yep, I'll be there. Where's the event taking place on Tuesday?
Expo Gardens, 1601 Northmore, 61614 at the Expo Gardens in the Youth Building. The same place we had it last year.
All right, nice. And to get tickets and everything, where can they go?
Yeah, so for tickets, they can go to thepeoriafashionweek.com.
Fancy. Look at that. You fancy. It's cool to see it all come together, man. Like, in 2 years, where do you feel you were initially to where you are now? Like, where would you put the growth aspect at?
It's crazy. The growth is crazy.
Because you have a lot of different people from the community actually supporting, like different businesses. You're now,
But you know what? Honestly, I still feel okay. I feel second year, we're building stronger roots. That's what I feel. That's what I feel. You know what I mean? Even though it's growing a lot on social media, it's growing a lot in regards to all the different places we go, etc. It's still a situation of where it's
Still young.
Yes. So yes, the growth has been great in certain areas, but as far as a whole, the foundation itself, I believe we're building stronger roots. So I don't want to say that like, oh, like, you know, like we're like, you know, at a Fortune 500 level, like, no.
Oh yeah.
We're still, you know, we're still getting there, you know.
But you're happy with the foundation that you've been building. Like, you gotta be. Like, it's cool to see that not only was it just a concept y'all came together and grown together with it, nurtured and cultivated, but like your second year you have more community support.
Yeah.
And not only that, but like somebody that was a part of Fashion Week was a connect for you out in a different part of the country.
Yeah,
and that's what's happening now. I mean, honestly, we're pulling in a lot of out of state connections.
Yeah,
between New York, Florida, and of course California. So yes, Peoria Fashion Week will be back in Hollywood, but you know, we just can't say
when and where.
We can't say that yet.
I'm going to correct him. Peoria Fashion Week is Peoria Fashion Week in Peoria. We are rebranding because we do fashion shows everywhere to House of Runway.
House of Runway.
So that Peoria Fashion Week can be a staple here in Peoria, where people will look for us and ask to be a part of our show here in Peoria, so that we can bring different designers, different musicians, all those type of things, different models here to Peoria. And so the whole idea is when we understand small business growth, the economic growth, we need to make sure that we're bringing dollars to our hometown. And that's how we grow. So if we're feeding the small businesses and we're feeding the small restaurants, things like that, and we're bringing tourism dollars to Peoria through Peoria Fashion Week, we're assisting with the growth of our economy. And that's the whole idea. And so even with the growth of some of the designers that we've worked with, one of the designers that we work with had an opportunity, built up the confidence enough to have the opportunity to go to New York Fashion Week. And that's what it's all about, is bringing visibility and opportunity to the people that we're assisting, the designers, the models, things like that.
Because that's cool, because the first time we talked, I think you guys were telling me about how, I don't know if it was your daughter was going to New York for a fashion show.
Yep.
Correct.
And you guys were like fighting for fabric or something like that. Like, remember, like, you saw people actually not fighting, but like trying to get fabric. They opened the stores or something. There was some story you guys told me where like people were going crazy for different fabrics.
Oh yeah.
That was actually, no, so that wasn't even a store. That was just, they were tossing fabric out on one of the streets, and
people were just designers were going and snatching up
Give
fabric.
me that satin.
Yeah.
Yo. But like, from having that where you guys are going yourselves to actually building confidence to somebody else within the community that is building their own brand, to now have that confidence to go out to New York and have that experience on their own. Like, yo, that is like the epitome of what it means to be a community.
Yeah.
Like, ain't that wild just to see it?
Yeah.
It's only 2 years, but you got to admit the growth in 2 years is exponential.
Yeah, and it's not even that one. We had another designer that he was only with us for like, one show, 2 shows? And he ended up getting commissioned by a bigger designer in LA to work on their line. So now he's learning that entire experience. And this kid, when he tells his story, he's so passionate about getting rid of fast fashion. And fast fashion is basically like clothes you find like at Walmart, things like that, which not knocking Walmart at all. But we understand
Please
how much. Please sponsor us. We understand how much clothing makes it to landfills.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between you go to secondhand clothing, you'll go to certain stores, then you have boutiques, and you actually have like, your Chanel's and all this. I don't really know close brands.
Yes, Chanel's.
Is that a brand?
That is Chanel is a brand.
Well, look at me. I know what, but
That's why I can't find my name anywhere on
Prada?
any name tags.
Prada's another thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then there's another brand.
Louis Vuitton.
Louis Vuitton.
That's the one, LV. I've seen that in videos. I don't know,
Yeah.
But it's to the point now where like you're building a staple name in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the next event that we have coming up? Tuesday we got the VIP. We're introducing people. We'll be there. And then Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. What else we
Wednesday's
got?
athletic and streetwear.
No, Wednesday is actually the elegant day.
Oh, yeah,
That's
I'm sorry.
the bridal and dapper day.
Yes, Bridal and Dapper Day.
So what do we have in store for that night?
Oh yeah, so we got shout out my boy that guy's secret, Aaron Selberg. We have Normandy. Normandy just chipped in. She's going hard.
Yeah.
So
These are names I don't know, so I'm kind of excited to see.
Yeah.
What
So
they
both
got.
of these stores are located in our Northwoods Mall.
Northwoods Mall.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. And then we have Mia B. She's actually an independent designer, so she currently doesn't have like a store or anything like that, but highly talented and I mean just amazing on her end as well. And then we have one last one
Delic.
for Delic.
Yeah, and she, oh my goodness, she's been a seamstress here in Peoria for I want to say decades, and she's been the go-to for prom dresses, wedding dresses, pretty much anything. And she loves to do it. When she tells her story, she just talks about how she can sew all day long. And looking at some of the things that she's made already, amazing. All of these designers are amazing, and we're just really lucky to have them be a part of our show.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're bringing. I mean, it's cool. I do love the fact. I think one of the biggest selling points before we actually met and I heard about y'all, I'm like, oh, y'all putting local people on the map.
Yeah.
Like, I'm all about community engagement. That's the reason why we have this podcast, to hear about the achievements and the cool things that's happening. Because unlike that person from L.A., I lived in Chicago for 30 years, right? I ain't never heard of P-Town. I never heard of Peoria. I heard of Richard Pryor. I watched him growing up, but I didn't know where he was from. I just kind of assumed he was like Chicagoan. I just didn't click. So when I moved out here, I'm learning more things about it. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of dope things that's happening. There's a lot of cool things. There's a lot of, you're cool. You could let that, but I don't care. But it's just like, yeah, okay. It's just low proud, bro. No, but it's cool just to see. Again, I'm harping on the growth, but like now we're to a point of you bringing more outside resources in to see the amazing culture that we have here in Peoria.
Yeah.
Like you have some people coming in from different states. Can we talk about that, or is that more like you got to be there to meet them?
Got to be there to meet him.
So we got the fancy fashion, all that on Wednesday. On Thursday, what we got?
Athletic and streetwear.
Yes.
Peoria is really big on athletic wear and streetwear, and I really think it's everywhere because everyone wants to be comfortable.
I mean, I got
wanna
my
be
hoodie and sweats on right now. I feel.
I literally wore my Chucks to the pre-Oscars event.
Are you serious?
Serious.
I mean, full confidence. I get this.
Oh
yeah. We definitely stay true to our fashion as well.
What kind of names do we have for athletic wear that we're going to be seeing?
Oh man, so we've got Bag, which is also in Northwoods Mall. Shout out to Donnie. We also have Iron Rose. Shout out Curtis, Jontel, and Mike. We also have.
It's a lot of them.
Yeah, you have a plethora of
We
lists.
have JT Fashions. Yeah. She's a designer that makes swimwear. We have Sassy Simone's boutique. Her clothing, oh my gosh. When our pre-show happened and I saw her clothes, that was the first time I saw a lot of the designers' clothes. I was just like, I need to lose weight so I can get her clothes.
So what you're saying is I'm going to come in and be like, I need to lose 100. It might be my motivation, the fashion.
Right. And then we have our youngest designer, 17 years old. She's
17.
been, well, she wants me to correct, I'm sorry, stylist. She's a stylist. She told me to correct myself. And so, but she has owned a store now for 2 years?
Correct. Yeah.
She's 17 years old and has had a store.
15?
No, I'm sorry, 1 year, 16. Because she's turning 18.
This is going on her second. She's turning 18.
Yeah, she's turning 18.
Yo,
so for her sweet 16, her mom got her a boutique. And she's just been, in there. And
Where's the boutique and what's the name again? Like
I believe,
Glitz and Glam.
Yes, Glitz and
Oh,
Glam.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think I met her at the rooftop event I was at for you guys.
Yes.
Actually,
She has some really
that's
cool
her.
things, yeah. Because I remember like, yo, she's like, she's young and I'm like, yo, that's right. Because I mean, you guys do rooftop events now.
Yes.
And what's the spot again?
It's
12 bar.
12 bar.
Yeah, 12 bar rooftop bar lounge. Actually, the next one is going to be May 18th. So yeah,
It's the only rooftop here in Peoria, right?
correct.
And I'm not going to name drop, but
Name
we
drop.
have someone cool coming out from Hollywood.
Can you tell me? But everybody closes their ears.
Well, the only thing I can tell people right now is that it's a DJ. We have there will be a DJ from Hollywood that's going to be.
Because the last musical you had there, they were pretty dope. I forgot her name and the guitarist.
Oh, Victoria Isabella and
Yes.
Jalen Howard.
They were amazing together.
Yeah,
they
they were.
just started riffing. They had never performed together, and then next thing you know, they started riffing together.
Yeah, so honestly, it's just a thing of I just started kind of like freestyling. One day, when Jalen was around us, it was me and a mod. He goes by DJ Abibi, and we were just all kind of like freestyling at 12 bar one time, and he was there to play, and then he was like, "Hey, actually, you know what? Can you just keep going?" And then maybe I'll catch you guys. And then literally, sure enough, right after that, it just kind of turned into a thing of just like the DJ with the guitarist and
Super cool, man.
Oh man, it was amazing.
That entire vibe.
Yeah.
It was a little cold, but I was down. I had a sweater, and I was a little thick with it. You know what I mean? So that's Wednesday and Thursday. What's Thursday?
Yeah, Thursday is the Streetwear Athletic Day. That's the day that we were currently on. Another designer that we're going to have is Gangery. Shout out Jada and Miss John. And then Friday is going to be the Youth Day.
And cultural.
Yeah, it's going to be Youth and Cultural Day. So we've got.
Are the kids involved?
Yeah,
Yes.
we got the kids
It's the
involved.
babies. They're modeling.
We've got. Can I say? As far as the global situation?
Yeah.
So Global Fest 2024, that group will also be a part of Peoria Fashion Week for
Who
Friday.
is Global Fest for someone that's not initiated like myself?
So Global Fest is a new organization that put together this festival to showcase all the diversity here in Peoria. So I was a part of their event recently. I believe it was the beginning of March 2nd, I believe. And it was a whole bunch of different cultures, their food, their dance. It was pretty packed too. So what they did
Really?
is they made the entire space look like an airport, and everyone that came in, they got passports. And for every country they visited,
Oh, that's cool.
I know, it's so cool. So then I was able to help out with the fashion show. And we had like Samoa, Nigeria, I believe, Ghana, India. It was just a whole bunch of different cultures showing
yeah.
their cultural garments. And so
That's cool.
we asked them if they wanted to be a part of Peoria Fashion Week to showcase again, and of course it's free publicity for them. And then and they said yes. So they're going to come and walk the runway again. And when I tell you, watching them, they have so much fun, and they're entertaining to watch because they're older, and most of them are like execs, but they have fun doing it, right?
Oh, they have this like sleekness about them or something?
Huh?
Like they have this little
Yes,
sleekness about
very
them that's just
sleek.
like, oh, all right, we see
Very
you.
smooth.
We see you, Mr. and Mrs. Smooth.
Exactly.
Ah.
So, and then, like I said, they were a joy to work with. So, adding them to Peoria Fashion, and that's what we want to do, is we want to bring people in to be a part of what we're doing.
Different things, yeah.
Ezra and I are not gatekeepers at all.
Now I feel like every time I meet you, y'all introduce me to somebody else. Like, hey, you gotta talk to this person. Hey, this person, check this out. Or like you're giving a different singer or guitarist a chance to showcase their skills. I mean, it's kind of an open community thing. We're like, all right, you got something you want to display? All right, come on, let's go. Let's check it out.
Yeah. And that's what it's about, man. I mean, that's the only way how we as a community here in Peoria. That's the only way how we're going to grow is if we come together and just really genuinely push each other forward. That's the only way how we're going to grow.
We ain't all always going to agree on things,
Oh,
but
yeah, most
I mean, respect is respect. If you're doing something that's positive for the community, I mean, why can't we help each other out?
Exactly.
It's kind of how I feel with things. So then we got Youth Day on Friday, and then Saturday's the big show.
Yeah,
High fashion.
Yeah, Saturday's the high fashion concert day. You know.
So what we got in store for that?
Oh, man.
Sell this to me.
Yeah, so we have Nyla Couture, who I told you about earlier. I mean, she's huge now, of course. She's gonna open the show with a bang, again with John Gibbs. So shout out Gibbs.
And she also has invited some big models to come walk for her from Hollywood.
Tyra Banks. No, yeah. And that's how you know what year I was born.
We wish. We wish. So
No, there'll definitely be some models from actually all over the world. I mean, you know, really, literally. I mean, it was really kind of fun meeting, you know, everyone, and you know, everyone had different accents and different cultures. You know how they addressed, you know. Asking certain questions, or you know, walking, etc. Like it was just amazing, man. So yeah. Shout out Nyla. She's gonna come. And then actually, I have
there's 15 designers
yeah.
all together.
15 designers.
15 designers.
I feel like you upped that from last year.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh,
By
yeah.
what, like 5 or 6?
By a lot.
8.
Was it by 8?
Yeah.
Wow. When you think about it, how does that change your run of time and run of show? Because now you have more acts you got to get involved. You got more brands you got to put visibility on.
Yeah.
What's the new challenge with that?
Yeah. So honestly, it's working out. So not all of the designers.
You said that very blank, like, yeah, it's working out, Doc.
Because not all of the designers have the same amount of looks. So some of them may only have 5 looks, 6 looks, and then you know we have a handful that have, you know, a full roster. You know, so
What's the full roster, like 20?
10.
not
Oh,
like
10?
10.
I went to the max.
10, maybe 10.
Maybe 35.
I cut it off at 10.
So yeah, so after Nyla, and then we have Iron Rose, and then we have
I remember Iron Rose.
Yep, and then we have Crafted Couture, ran by Miss Candace. Shout out to Candace.
Chicago.
Remember them too.
All right. And then we have Glitz and Glam.
Yep.
Shout out
Kamaya.
Kamoy. And then
That's cool.
we have and also that would be with Victoria Isabella.
Amazing singer.
Yeah, actually, artist from the Chicago area, V8, will be.
I met V8.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
performed
he's
last
cool.
year. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's super
Yeah,
cool.
from like
He's cool.
Bloomington, that kind of area.
We've been trying to connect me and him to get him an interview for the pod, but it's just something else always comes up. It's gonna happen, man. It's gonna happen
Yeah,
eventually.
he's
He's a
busy.
good
He's
dude,
like
man.
touring right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
busy touring. I mean, it's just a Midwest tour, but you know, a tour is a tour.
No, yo, the fact that you're going to different places
Going
and
to different places in
broadcasting
general,
your
yeah,
art,
it's just- yeah.
that's dope. It don't matter what level it's on. The fact that you take that initiative, I mean, it's like you guys, you take the initiative to kind of branch out and
Yeah.
try new things, introduce your concept to somebody else in a different part of the nation. It takes guts to do that, yo.
Yeah.
Like you're putting
Yeah.
your creativity and your business out there and your money out there. You know what I mean? So you gotta spend a little bit to get a little bit.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's true. That's very true. And then of course we have that guy's Secret, and that's going to be with Eric Bruce. Eric Bruce will actually be performing.
Bruce, why is that
We have
name
to
sound
introduce
so
you to him.
familiar?
Yeah.
Why does that name sound so
He
familiar?
plays everywhere.
Yeah,
he plays with his
plays-
band.
He's played
He's a
at few
guitarist.
different events.
That
and a
name
soloist,
sounds
yeah.
so familiar.
Yeah. We'll introduce you.
Oh, yeah. I'm down.
All that, man. Good dude.
Yeah.
And then of course we have Liberatus, which is by my boy Dwight, formerly known as Zodiac Customs. So
Oh,
that's-
yeah.
You remember that,
I
right?
remember
Good
so.
dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
he's gonna
rebranded.
do
It's a small world now. So once I get involved with y'all, I kind of remember these cats. Every
Yeah,
now and
yeah,
then. I'm like,
yeah.
oh yeah.
So
He's-
he's going through a rebranding process, and he's having that going. And then we have, is that the lick again? CJ
Delic.
Delic. Delic. So we have her, and that will be with Jody Love,
Jody
R&B
Love.
singer actually.
Yeah, some of the artists that we're bringing out, people in the area haven't heard them yet, but they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then of course, so King Hillian will be for Liberatus, and then we have actually Clarice. Clarice from...
Yep. So we have 3 ICC students.
Yeah.
So what happened was they started sharing things on Instagram because they have a fashion club. And, you know, I'm a big stalker. So I'm like, hey, guys, I see what you guys are doing. Would you like to be a part of Peoria Fashion Week? So we ended up going to ICC, met with them. Great group of kids. They have a ton of designs. So we had to, like, squeeze it in. Like, okay, guys, come on. 10 designs. So it's Clarice and then Alana and Tony. And so they have 2 separate lines. So Alana and Tony are working together, and then Clarice is working together by herself.
But that's cool that you know, these are ICC college kids, people. I don't know what the age are, but, you know, you're taking somebody at the early stages of what they're creating, and you're, like, giving them a platform.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you're going to have musical performances as each of the...
For each, yeah.
So each runway, each brand and designer will have their own musical act. Okay, that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yep. So then DR actually will be...
I remember DR.
Yeah.
I remember DR.
Dude, yeah. And then we have Mia B, like who I mentioned earlier. Entre Luce.
Andre Luce.
From Des Moines, Iowa, is actually going to go for them.
And he's one of our business partners.
Yeah,
and he's 3-time Iowa Music Awardee. So he's been like the music artist of the year 3 times in Iowa.
That's
and
cool.
so, he's definitely one of our business partners. He's
a multi-awarded.
How'd you link up with him?
he found
Peoria
us.
Fashion Week, man. Peoria Fashion Week.
Yeah.
So
I need to stop asking because it's all centrally located. You know what I mean? Like,
so actually, let's see. This was before the first Peoria Fashion Week. He hit us up from another event that we had done, and he's like, "Hey, you know, I understand you guys have models, etc. How would you like to do this event?" And we collabed with an event for Selfie World in Iowa, and that was, oh man, dude, that was amazing. That kind of kicked off a lot of the touring aspect of what we do.
it just gave you that itch.
Yeah, man, it just all kind of happened. Yeah, so yeah, that's where that came from with Entre. Again, man, great dude. And we're actually going to do some more business with him. Actually, that's coming up in August. I don't know.
And we'll come and give you the
Exclusive.
the exclusive
Ooh.
after it's all
when it's
all organized. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, but we definitely have some big things in store outside of that.
When do you guys sleep?
Never. And so then
That's crazy work ethic you guys are setting.
I know, right?
Like,
And then we also have Gangery again. That's going to be with Swag.
Swag.
Yeah, that's the name she goes by. Swag and Joelle.
Dope.
So that's I can't wait to see that all unfold together. I know that's going to be a great experience. And then of course we have is it? I don't want to say it wrong. Mubray?
Mabu.
Mabu.
I think it's Mabu.
Mabu?
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be Mabu Leathers. By...
Oh my goodness, I can't wait for you guys to see her
Yeah,
designs.
yeah.
Mabu leathers. Is it a lot of leather?
She's a leather. She makes everything out of leather. And
I was like, it's kind of the name, you know?
Yeah, she also has a store in Northwoods Mall. And how we got connected with her was I was at an event at the museum, and Mr. James Bryson would introduce me to her mother-in-law, and then we got to, talking. And I love her mother-in-law, by the way. Like, I feel like I was adopted into the family now. And she told me about her daughter, and then when she sent me pictures of some of the things that she made, I was like, oh my goodness. And her outfits, everything's made out of leather. They're amazing. You guys got to be there.
You know what's crazy?
Have to be there.
The big takeaway from this is I just realized I've never been to the mall. In 2 years, I've not gone. Like, I don't know why, but I'm like, you guys are, they're located in the mall. They're located in the mall. The mall. I'm like, well, I go to Portillo's.
Yeah, I mean,
Close enough.
man, Peoria Fashion Week, House of Runway. I mean, it's all about trying to, push us. Shout out to Northwoods Mall. Julie and Alan in there. They're doing what they can daily. To push Northwoods and get it going. So
And they're really
major
big
shout out to them.
supporters of us.
Yeah.
They
we just
support us.
We just had a really successful event there this past Saturday. It was the Fashion Meets Northwoods Mall Spring Runway Experience Part 2. So we had that downstairs near the center court in the Old Express. And I mean, it was phenomenal. It was amazing. I mean, we're still getting, crazy positive feedback from that every day on social media. So yeah, again, shout out Northwoods Mall. It's we can't wait on government to fix our own issues. When it comes to supporting our own, it starts with us. So again, major shout out to Northwoods Mall for believing in us, and yeah, I mean,
also the entire community for coming out, man.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, it's like,
most definitely.
when you think about it, is you could create a great event, but if the community don't come out,
yeah,
is it great? You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think for 2 years in, to see it expand in this type of way and this quickly, also with a lot of in-house, but also out of state. It's cool. It's like a pat on the back. Like, no, you're doing something right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, I feel like I know you guys enough to say this, but I feel like you're already working on year 3.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys already got ideas.
Yeah. So I definitely told my husband that.
Who's that?
Ezra. I definitely told Ezra that after Peoria Fashion Week, April, we're going to go ahead and open up the designer portal in May. Because just because we had so many designers wanting to be a part of it after we closed, and I felt like we didn't give people enough time to sign up. And so if we open the portal in May, it'll give our production team more time to organize everything and get everything together for next year. And so but like I said, we had so many designers from everywhere that they started seeing things a little later. We had already closed the portal. We wanted, even when we look at their clothes, we're like, oh my gosh. But it's just, we have to maintain what we have right now. Mm-hmm. And so yeah, we definitely, that's one of the things that we talked about, is being able to open that designer portal right in May, so that people can start planning, even giving the designers more time to plan out their line for next year.
Do you ever you can tell me if I'm overstepping with this question, but do you guys ever see yourselves extending Peoria Fashion Week to multiple times in a year, or like once per season, or do you ever see it evolving to a point where it's, multiple different weeks in a year?
So, I don't know. I can only speak for myself. I would like to see it grow as big as New York Fashion Week or LA Fashion Week, where it's multiple weeks. And by then, hopefully, we can get the interest of more fashion production teams so that they can take on a day or two, or things like that, and then it would all be under the umbrella of Peoria Fashion Week, and that creates more cohesiveness with other productions as well.
And you're putting different people on the map by giving the responsibilities to knock something else out the park.
And that is exactly what they do in New York and LA, is they open it up under the umbrella of New York Fashion Week and LA Fashion Week, where some designers are coming in and they're putting on their own shows, or production teams are coming in and putting on their own shows. And if we can work collaboratively with the city to make it to where we can use more spaces throughout the city, that gives people more options to go to different shows for 2 weeks at a time. And that's so cool. That's just me speaking. I'm pretty sure my husband has a different... Did you even hear this?
He was taking care of business on his cell phone.
So
yeah.
I'll just leave the answer to that.
Do you see it growing to multiple weeks throughout the year? Like maybe one per season, maybe one at the beginning of the year, one at the end of the year? Do you see this growing to multiple?
Yeah, and I've been asked that actually in regards to just different seasons. I'm still indifferent about it. Only because just this 1 week, it's costly. It takes it takes a lot to put it on. I mean, unless we just ended up just gaining, sponsors out of the blue.
Crazy traction. You never know.
You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, did you think you'd have this by year 2?
No.
No, for sure.
Like, did you have ideas of what you wanted to, and then maybe exceeded it somehow, or were you just like kind of open for the process of what it is? Stump them.
It's coming. It's coming together. It's coming together. The speed, I guess. I did not anticipate being where we currently are. I know originally when I first came up with the concept, the biggest question was, okay, like, when are you going to make an entire week? So this is the first of trying to make it more than just 3 days, and just trying to see where that goes. Again, it's just costly. I mean,
because
as of right now, we'll probably stick to what we're doing with just the one big week, and then of course with House of Runway we do the events year round. So we'll probably keep it like that for right now. But yeah, like I said, I mean, unless we just out the blue, like, some sponsors say, hey, you know what? Hey, we believe in the vision. We like what you guys are doing. How's this, and this? I mean, unless something like that comes up, it would have to stay kind of like where we are currently.
Yeah, because we don't have a lot.
Shout out to our current sponsors though
for making it this far.
That help us make it to make it possible. Discover Peoria, major shout out to them, and the major shout out to also Sheer Volvo. Sheer Volvo was one of our smaller sponsors, and a major shout out to Brewer & Co. They were also one of our smaller sponsors. So yeah, I mean, just shout out to anyone that's ever sponsored anything.
And if you like to sponsor, where can you get more information?
info.deannachanel@gmail.com. And then I will definitely send out the sponsorship packets. I think that is the biggest lift right now, trying to get, because we do have a lot of sponsors, but they're more in-kind sponsors. And we're fine with in-kind. We love in-kind sponsors.
Thanks for being a part of
Thank
it. Yeah.
you so much. I don't want to sound like I'm ungrateful, because no, we love all of our sponsors. But I think the hardest thing right now is trying to convince major sponsors to see what we're trying to do. But I really fully believe that after this year, it'll be a little bit more known on, okay, this is what's happening, and I can trust them more with with the sponsorship.
Oh yeah.
And so and I get it. It takes time to grow those relationships, and it takes time.
It's only year 2.
It's only year 2. Yeah.
You gotta think about it. We kind of like, we're on the same timeline of things. 2 years in. I'm 2 years in Peoria. Y'all 2 years in doing Fashion Week.
I know.
But the levels and miles we've been going, you got to smile at it. Like, yo,
we definitely
you have the in-house support. You have the in-city support. You're starting to get outlier support. You have different musicians coming into town. You're putting different people on the map. It's this entire collection of just growth.
Yeah.
We got the saying in Spanish, poco a poco, little by little. Eventually makes a big steam. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It takes time.
Yeah.
And shout out the Hispanic community, because they support us.
I'm right here. What's up?
Crystal.
Yeah, she's dope.
That's one of my best friends. So she's like on me, like, "Hey sis, here you go. This. I love her.
Yeah,
She's good.
Casa de Arte.
Yeah, I need to talk to them too. Yeah, I need to just go through you. I need to talk to a
Just
lot of
give you
people.
our phones.
Yeah. I won't look through Instagram, I promise. Okay, so before we wrap up, for those that are still kind of fence about coming out to Fashion Week, what's something that you feel that somebody new coming in that has not experienced this event, this entire week-long event, what's something you feel that is a good selling point for them to come down and be like, oh yeah, let me check this out?
Yeah, honestly, for all ages, I can say that, like, even at this last one that was at Northwoods Mall, just this past Saturday, a lot of the people they were older, maybe 50s, 60s, etc., and they told me they were just honest. They were just like, hey, we were skeptical about it at first, but man, is this an amazing event. This is exciting. Like how do you guys do this? How often do you do it? Can I get tickets to the next show? Like, it's so I would honestly say it's just a group of people that genuinely want to see the best out of Peoria, the 309 area, succeed, and we do these events, we do these shows, and I mean, all I can say is, just genuine, clean entertainment is what you can expect from our production. So I
think the great selling point for me, someone outside looking in and seeing the growth happen, is not only is it putting people on the map, but it's empowering the community and different people. You have, somebody that's 16 years old that have their own boutique, but you're giving them the ability to display their passion, their art, their craft. You're giving other people opportunities to become models in runway fashions, or you're putting people on to play music and sing. And it's for me on the outside looking in, it's just like the definition of what Peoria is. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's a collection of the community. Yeah. And I think that's my selling point for it. Just like, hey, come on out. Yeah. Check it out one time. Go to one event.
It's definitely the experience for me. A lot of people don't get to experience these type of things unless they go to bigger cities. And I know a lot of people in Peoria don't leave Peoria. So having that experience here is major, And like you said, assisting the younger generation in bringing visibility to what they're doing, for the younger people, I coach them. And so, especially if they ask me to, I'm a heavy coach. I let them know at first, it's not going to be easy. And I might get on you a couple times, but that's how you create greatness. Yeah. Is because the world is not nice. The world is not nice. And when you go to bigger shows and bigger productions, those people will treat you like garbage. And if you do not have thick skin, it's going to be really difficult for you. And so for me, when I do bring these young people in and they ask me to help them and I coach them, because let me rephrase that. I am not a model coach. I can teach you how to get in the rooms.
Personality.
And I could teach you how to network, and I can open certain doors for you, but it's up to you whether or not you're going to walk through it and take advantage of that opportunity. And so for a lot of the young people that we work with, they take advantage of those opportunities. And so like I said, it's not a lot, it's just a couple. And I always tell them, they're always like, well, thank you so much. It's not me. You're doing the work already. I just see you. We see you. And then we're propelling you up through our network. And that's all it is.
Are you ready to walk down the aisle of success? Exactly. For more information about Peoria Fashion Week and everything else you guys are doing, where can people go?
Definitely check out our website, thepeoriafashionweek.com. And also on Facebook, Fashion Week Peoria, where you can see all of our great interviews that are done by our youth, and also photos of our events, and just also info about all future and current events that's going on.
All right. Well, with that being said, that's been episode 55 of the KZ Community Beat. I'm your host, Ross Martinez. We got the Peoria Fashion Week minds behind it in the house. Go check out the website one more time.
thepeoriafashionweek.com, and on Facebook, Fashion Week Peoria.
All right. If you don't go back and check out the episodes or go check out Fashion Week, we will do an event in front of your house.
Yes, we will.
It's not far-fetched. It's not far-fetched. All right, guys, we're out. Peace.
Thank you.
Yo.